There were very few landscape architects here. Previously, we've talked about, you and I, about William C. Pawley. He, during the 20s, 30s, being one of the very few landscape architects in the South, and the only one that I know of. But the others were visitors from Boston or New York or Philadelphia. I had worked in the summers, both when I was at Harvard and the summer I was at Georgia. I had worked for Eugene R. Martini, landscape architect. So I'd have these 2 or 3 month increments of employment. Most of what the Atlanta planning profession was interested in was doing subdivisions and housing projects and shopping centers, and I just realized that was not what I wanted to do. So it was easy. I was single. I was living at my parents' home. I had a degree in landscape architecture. There was no licensure. There was nothing to separate me from doing what I wanted to do. And so I set up a drawing board on my mother's sleeping porch and told the world I was a landscape architect. I had almost instantly, I had a couple of residential jobs that were new houses, just as new as I was. And then, fortunately, Georgia Tech had become self-conscious about its threadbare appearance, and most of its attention was focused on this hilltop where it was established in 1881. And with automobiles jammed right up under the windowsill, they asked me to help with some sort of plantings, and thus began a sort of a series of studies for introducing walkways and modifying parking in order to create some planting spaces and so on. We used to refer to it as the world's only all-concrete campus, which of course is not the case, but it was damn near the case. And from that hilltop, we just sort of drooled off in every direction for new buildings as they came into being. So there was a huge expansion program for Tech. And one by one, in addition to an overall tree plan, one by one, as new buildings were built, I was engaged to make studies for them. But in any event, there weren't many of us, so I was on call for a lot of places, and so my practice would include from New Orleans at the southwest, middle Florida, down the peninsula, Jacksonville, and into the Carolinas. But over time, not only has my local practice grown, but the other landscape architects, there's been less and less need to leave the city. But I covered a lot of ground to serve people who weren't being served.